New details have emerged in the case of Mohammed Jawed, believed to be the youngest Guantanamo detainee. He was freed in August, but his legal team are demanding a war crimes inquiry into his treatment. Well, Dina Gusovski's in Washington with one of his lawyers tonight. Hi there, Dina. And that lawyer equally vocal as well, isn't he?
That's right, Kevin. New developments in this story. Jawad's military lawyers do say that he was tortured throughout his time at Guantanamo Bay, and they want to seek justice, but not so fast. Apparently, the Defense Department is ignoring their pleas to investigate this matter further. Now, one of his military lawyers, Eric Montalvo, joins me here today. Thank you so much for being here. So, in the past 16 months, you have sent memos and letters to the Defense Department asking them to investigate what you call inhuman treatment, what you say was torture during his time in Guantanamo Bay. What was the response from the Defense Department? Take me through that whole process.
Right. Well, essentially, at points during the investigation and the case development, we identified several different instances of abuse, and we would either send that via memo through their convening authority or the proper official chain, and we would never get a response. We've requested through the Inspector General, through the convening authority, even the judge in the case proclaimed that somebody should be held accountable for this, and nothing's come of it.
When you talk about being held accountable, what were the tactics that were used against Jawad that you say would have broken the law?
Well, whether they broke the law or not is something that needs to be investigated, and that's the issue that we were focused on.
Was it sleep deprivation? I mean, what kinds of things had he undergone during his time at Gitmo?
Right. I think one of the biggest issues was the sleep deprivation program. You know, he had been... that program had been used against him for a period of time after it had supposed to stop, and that resulted in, you know, an overture of abuse that we certainly had issue with, and there was great concern, and we requested that from the judge, and the judge came back and said, you know what, we agree with you, and this should be looked into.
But, I mean, what are the next steps? I mean, is the Defense Department going to look into it? Because I know Jawad is also suing the U.S. government, correct?
We are contemplating that. We're in discussions looking forward to doing that because we do believe that the U.S. has mistreated Mr. Jawad, and then he should seek compensation for that.
Is that going to be linked to the memos and the requests that you made to the Defense Department to investigate this matter? I mean, how is that all going to play out if you do go ahead and file the complaint against the U.S. government?
Well, there's certainly going to be an issue of what the U.S. government knew, when they knew it, and how they handled the issues. So as we go through the litigation, it will be uncovered at different stages in the litigation. These different problems and concerns, some of them will be classified, others will be open source, and you know, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Now, you just came from Afghanistan. The situation there seems to be getting more and more dire every day. Mm-hmm. What were your impressions?
Well, I think that the general over there right now has a lot on his plate.
He's asking for more troops. Obama isn't sure if he's going to give it to them. I mean, what were your impressions as someone who was an eyewitness, having just come from that region?
Well, the situation is definitely deteriorating, and I think that's in large part because we haven't had enough people over there to secure the different areas that need to be secured, and that's I think what's driving the troop request. So I would support, you know, if we are going to do this, we need to go all in, and, you know, staff it with the people that need to be staffed so that the general can accomplish the mission, because he's really changed the way he's doing business over there. He's trying to, you know, go down the road of respecting and considering all of the different human rights issues and concerns that the Afghans have had, and I think that's going to change the tenor of the discussion over there.
So perhaps it's an all-or-nothing situation. I want to thank you for being here. Eric Montalvo with me here in Washington, D.C. But for now, Kevin, back to you over there in Moscow.
Thanks for that, Dina. Dina Gusovski, our correspondent in Washington, talking to Mohammed Jawad's defense lawyer. Thank you.